If I had been born somewhere else, I would have acted differently than I do now. If I hadn't stayed at the party, I wouldn't have listened to those racist comments.
What do those two sentences have in common? Both sentences were written using the third conditional. We use conditional structures to speculate about things that could happen in the future, and things that might have occurred in the past. Most conditional sentences in English use the word if and describe a condition, and the result if that condition is true. There are 4 types of conditional sentences: zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. We use the zero conditional when there is a 100% possibility that something will always happen. Let's see an example.
If the actor is sick, the director will stop filming.
We use the first conditional when there is a 50 to 90% possibility that something will probably happen. Let's see an example.
If the movie is too long, I will probably fall asleep.
We use the second conditional when there is a 1 to 40% possibility that something can happen but probably won't. Let's see an example.
If I were an actress, I would make a zombie movie.
We use the third conditional when something can't happen. It has 0% possibility that it will happen. Let's see an example.
If the show had started later, it would have been crowded.
In this video, we will focus on the third conditional. We use the third conditional to talk about things that were possible in the past, but that didn't happen, or can no longer happen now, which means they are actually impossible, or unreal events.
If I had been born somewhere else, I would have acted differently.
It is formed by using the past perfect tense in the condition part of the sentence, followed by would, and then the present perfect tense in the result part. As before, these parts can be swapped around.
If I had been born somewhere else, I would have acted differently. I would have acted differently if I had been born somewhere else.
Using the third conditional to express regrets. Since the third conditional deals with situations that could have but didn't happen in the past, it is often used to talk about regrets, or things we wish had happened differently. For example, if I had known him before, I wouldn't have made those bad comments. Using apostrophe D for would and had, in the third conditional. In English, we often abbreviate words, especially when speaking casually. Both the words, would and had, can be abbreviated to apostrophe plus D. Please don't use the abbreviated way for would and had, in the third conditional. This can be confusing when it occurs in the third conditional, which uses both words in the same sentence.
Could.
Might.
Should.
Can we use other modals instead of would, in the third conditional? It is also possible to use other modals, such as could, might, and should in place of would, in the third conditional as well. Changing the modal changes the degree of certainty or the tone of the sentence, with might being not very sure, could being about 50-50, and should being used for making suggestions. For example, if I had known you would be part of the conversation, they might have had more understanding of the situation. Using the continuous form in the third conditional. The continuous form can also be used in the third conditional to talk about unfinished or continuous actions or states that would have resulted in the past, from possible past conditions that didn't actually happen. The structure is the same in the condition part, with if, followed by the past perfect. While the result part takes would, followed by the present perfect continuous form. If it had been a different situation, students wouldn't have been reacting in that way. Students wouldn't have been reacting in that way, if it had been a different situation. This is the end of this video. But remember that you can review it as many times as you wish.